guys, Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends, the first video of 2025. Welcome and Happy New Year, everybody out there. Today, we have a lot to talk about in terms of news, some good, some bad-ish. We'll get into everything today. First of all, how did you guys ring in the new year? You'll either be disappointed or you'll be able to relate with me in that I was fast asleep by 11 o'clock. I tried to stay up with my 7-year-old and I failed miserably. So anyway, here we are in 2025. And that means, first of all, some free claimable gifts, so go ahead and claim your Mythic Skill Tome. Actually, not too bad, the New Year Chain gift, so nothing to complain about there. So we start out with the Soul Stone here, and we end with the Mythical, so go ahead and make sure you log in and claim that, even if you're taking a little bit of break throughout the holidays. So we have a lot of speculation on Alice in Wonderland being added to the game. Here is the official text. I have a little bit more for you guys as well. Wild years shenanigans are afoot in Teleria, wilder than usual even, keep your ear to the ground and keep your eyes peeled. Something big is about to happen. You want to have your head, keep your head when push comes to shove. And then we have the Alice in Wonderland kind of themed keyhole here. So Alice in Wonderland looks to be coming to the game. I hope it's going to be, and I think it's probably going to be a kind of a darker aesthetic. I'm thinking if anybody's familiar with kind of the American McGee's Alice, kind of that sort of vibe. I really like this art by Amy AI Art, or I guess maybe is that just AI art then? By Amy, either way, I love this aesthetic. Maybe a little bit of, I don't know, Little Miss Annie vibes, right, going on. What about you guys in terms of what you'd like to see from Alice? I hope she would be the free champion, Alice in Wonderland. Maybe like a Little Miss Annie, but a little bit less dead or undead. But let me know who you would like to see. Here's kind of the main characters. We have Alice. We have Cheshire Cat, Queen of Hearts, Peter Pan. Is Peter Pan in Alice in Wonderland? Google AI, what's going on here, man? Maybe I'm wrong, maybe he is. Hatter, Caterpillar, White Rabbit. Oof. I want like the super dark vibes. And also, Plarium gave us content creators this to share. You're not getting much here, just a Razovar kind of skin or whatever. But he could be obviously the White Rabbit, so I'm sure he'll be included somehow. The winds are shifting in Teleria. You won't want to miss this Stay Sharp Adventure. So I don't know if that's like going to go live tomorrow or whatever, but it seems like an additional social media post that will be coming to tease this big IP collaboration, which I think it's going to be. Now, why do I think it's going to be the full shebang, right? We look at the last IP collaboration was Asgard. We got the 3 Loki. We had Odin dungeon, the event dungeon, all that stuff. We have the pinpoint set as a part of that dungeon. I think that all of that is coming back, only under the Alice in Wonderland IP. I thought that might be the case for He-Man, but think about it this way. He-Man is trademarked, right? So they didn't do a lot other than He-Man and Skeletor in the game, kind of very, very basic, kind of blasé there, right? But with Alice in Wonderland, this is just like Asgard, just like Thor in Norse mythology. We have Alice in Wonderland is in the public domain. So, you know, Plarium, they're going to take advantage of the public domain. I think they're going to go all out with this one. So I predict maybe Alice will be free, maybe another champion will be free, but stay tuned either way. I'll have guides and all that information when we have it. However, I couldn't help but noticing, guys, as I'm looking at this post, and I really want to kind of touch base with you guys and see how you're feeling personally, my audience, you know, who I care about more than, frankly, the Facebook responders here. No offense to Facebook responders on the social media posts, but I couldn't help noticing. And I wanted to parcel out, is this community sentiment or is this just Facebook people complaining on social media? I think it's kind of the former rather than the latter, meaning that like, yeah, free legendaries are awesome. Sure, they could buff a billion champions in this game. There's plenty of things to fix in the game. I actually made a video, 3 reasons I'm raging right now that not many people watched compared to my other content. So maybe it's just landing on somewhat deaf ears. I don't know, but there are 3 major pain points in the game that I want to see addressed personally. I have a vested interest, right? I want viewers to continue to play the game and chill with me on a daily basis covering Raid Shadow Legends. I want new viewers to come in and new players to come in as well. So I want this game, obviously, to succeed for everybody, not just end game, not just mid game, but even new players in the game. So I outlined my own things that I want to see, the big 3 things in that video. But I couldn't help but noticing on this social media post that almost every single response of the 208 comments were complaints about the game. And it really made me feel, gosh, is Alice in Wonderland, as cool as that is, I actually think at first glance, you're like, Alice in Wonderland, that's like, come on, man, that's like super kiddie, you know? But the more you think about it, at least me, I think the IP is pretty cool, especially if they do it like with dark raid themes. And I'm not gonna, maybe I'm a sucker, which I obviously am. I'm playing Raid Shadow Legends here, right? But I do think that it's pretty cool. Like I'm excited to see what they do with it, who the free champion will be, what the dungeon will be like with the Mad Hatter or whatever it's gonna be, right? Anyway, how about fixing shards? I cracked 40 void shards on the 2X and not one legendary, bruh. Yeah, man, welcome to Raid. You must be new, Amber. You must be new. The gear from the dungeons needs a huge buff. Any gear from dungeons and dungeon diver events are a joke. Fusions aren't even worth it. Most events are total waste. I actually kind of hear this one. What about you guys? I feel like I'm on my one of my final missions right now, and it's like get 20 mythical artifacts, and it's like, oh god, what dungeon am I gonna farm? Because for an end game player, and I know this doesn't apply to everybody, but it's like all the good artifacts now are the 9 pieces that are not associated with any dungeons. So I kind of feel this one. Like, other than Spider for essentially silver, the dungeons feel like they need a big update to me. What about you guys? How do you feel about dungeons? Because Gina's comment here really resonates with me. Jordan, stop the shenanigans and do something cool, like add more levels to Minnow. Or do 2X on Minnow. That would be helpful. More helpful than anything else that I planned currently, I can almost guarantee. Listen, I could sit here for an hour and a half and read all these comments, but I'll link it for you guys if you want to go ahead and take a gander yourselves. But I think that I want to stop here because I made my point. The general question remains, is it enough to keep throwing the loyalty champions at the player base to keep them satisfied? Because they're doing it with more alacrity, which is actually good. And I think these IPs are very cool, especially the event dungeon. I'm a massive fan of that. The Thor event dungeon for me was one of the highlights of 2025. And we do know that we're still getting a few quality of life improvements that will help a lot of players coming in the next few months, namely the background battles. I think that's going to be an absolute huge one. Background battles are going to allow you to farm in various areas and do various activities inside the game. I'll throw up in some soul stones in the background here. They're going to allow you to do more things in the game while actually focusing on building teams and stuff like that, right? Acrasia 1, okay. So guys, let me know what you think, right? Live arena season's coming, background battles coming, but golly, the 3 things that I mentioned and the things that are annoying me, plus the minnows. The minnows is such a basic little thing that it almost seems so menial to complain about in a video, the Minotaur farming and scroll slog. It feels so obvious that they're neglecting it only for gems, only for money, right? It's just so transparent at this point, and it's such a huge and reoccurring pain point. That and dungeon divers, not including all the dungeons, those are 2 low-hanging fruit that Plarium could go ahead and offer a little bit of gratitude, a little bit of empathy towards the community, and fixing those 2 things, super easy fixes to start 2025 out with an absolute bang. And if they do, maybe I'm holding my breath, or I'm not holding my breath, excuse me. If I'm holding my breath, I'm in deep trouble, guys. I'm in deep trouble. Your boy Ash might not be another video in 2025. But if they do, I will absolutely make like a gratitude of all gratitude videos fixing those 2 things. Dungeon divers apply to all dungeons, A. And B, Minnow, like super raids, a few more levels. How about 10, right? Just like every other freaking dungeon in the game. All right, guys, we're going to end it there. Let me know what you think of Alice in Wonderland. Let me know what you think of these pain points. Are you like generally happy, generally satisfied in the game? What's your clan looking like? Are people leaving? Are people coming? Are you guys like happy? Are you miserable? Let me know in the comments below, guys. I'll have another video maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow for you all, unless I hold my breath too long. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.